So here we are on the inside of the camper here. As you can see, we have a great dinette area for 4 adults and potentially more children to hang out and eat dinner and enjoy themselves. This area here converts into the second bed, and it's a full-size bed, and 2 adults can sleep down here really comfortably. Right now, the top bed is in its full format, but if we wanted to make it bigger, we can transfer it into its queen or king setting. Drop down these cushions, and all of a sudden you've got a much bigger bed up top in the loft for mom and dad. The Grandby camper has a ton of storage. We've got storage under both these bench seats. We like to put linens and pillows and things like that in here. But that can be a good place for clothing or gear, things like that. We have more storage down here for all kinds of things. The fridge is plenty roomy here with a freezer as well as a fridge. All kinds of room for your beverages, food, beer, and frozen goods. To the right of the fridge, we have a little space where we keep most of the cookware, utensils, plates, bowls, fry pans, things like that. So that's conveniently stored in here in a couple tubs. Below that, I like to call the pantry. We have plenty of room for food storage and whatever else you might need to keep there. Below that, we have what I like to call our janitor's closet. And this is where we keep things like buckets, dustpan, cleaning supplies, things like that. Every one of our campers comes with a fire extinguisher, just in case. We've got even more storage below the fridge here. If we come over to the kitchen zone, we can go over some of the more technical aspects of the camper. First, we have a very simple 2-burner propane stove that just lights with a lighter that's provided, like so. Pretty handy. We have a sink. If you are wanting to use hot water to do dishes or take a shower, like I mentioned outside, you can turn on the hot water heater, and in about 10 minutes you'll have 6 gallons of fresh hot water. If you just want to use water to fill up your water bottles or do some dishes real quick, all you need to do is flip on the water pump here. You hear that come on. You definitely only want that on if you're going to be using the sink. Comes on like so. And like most camper sinks, it takes a second to kind of catch up and gain pressure, but when it does, it's an awesome sink. If you have some cold spring nights or even summer nights in the Tetons, you can take advantage of this heater we have here, and all you have to do to activate the heater is just turn it on and set a temperature. You hear it click on, it'll cycle on and off to try to maintain that temperature that you've set. So that's really convenient to stay warm in the camper. Under the stove, we keep our silverware, knives, matches, things like that. To the left of the heater and under the stove, right now we have some utility items for the camper. This is the outdoor shower that connects on the outside. Below that is your dual battery system. We don't recommend storing any gear on top of this battery system. It needs a little room to breathe, and we don't want anything messing up the batteries or short-circuiting them or anything like that. So kind of just leave that to the battery zone. Here's your water pump. This is what's doing all the work to pump the water from the 20-gallon tank up to your sink or out to your shower. So that's handy to know. That's right there. To the right of this system, we have our power system. We have a 12-volt outlet. We have USB chargers for all your cell phone, iPod needs, and then a 110-volt charger for when you are plugged in to shore power. You can run any type of 110-volt appliance on that. Below this, we have a control panel. If you remember, that's where our water pump goes on. It's also a gauge. So there's two buttons here. One says bat and one says fresh. You can guess that if you push the battery, it takes a look at how much battery is left. Right now we're reading in at 2/3. And that's great because we ran the heater all night, and so still has 2/3 of a battery. And then fresh water says we're getting low. So that's a nice way to see how much juice you've got left with water and battery. Below that, we have our fuse box. The fuses are all labeled really well here. You have some main breakers here, as well as converter breakers. You also have a master power switch. If for some reason you wanted to cut the entire power to the whole camper, you could depress this button and the entire power would be cut. Just keep in mind, if you turn off the power, the truck will not charge the camper batteries while it drives. Windows we have here are really convenient for checking out mountain views. They're double layered, so we have pretty light blocking window here that can keep all the light out. Take that down, you've still got the window closed, but now you can see out of it. You take this down, and we've got an awesome screen to let the fresh air flow and get an awesome view of the Tetons. And so that's one of the best features of this thing. Next, we have our fantastic fan. And this little handy thing will move air out of the camper very quickly. And there's two settings. If you have it pushed towards the front of the truck, it will suck air out of the camper. That's an ideal setting for cooking when you want the smoke and things to be moving out of the camper. If you're trying to cool the camper down real quick, you could change that direction and have air being pumped into the camper. And you see the fan just stopped, turned directions, and now it's blowing air in. And so this is a great feature to keep the place nice and dry, condensation free, and free from all your food smells. The fan is also really handy to help push down the camper. When we are ready to put the roof down, we shut all the windows, we turn all the lights off, and I leave the fan open. I have the air pulling out. I shut the door, and the fantastic fan creates this amazing suction that pulls in all the canvas of the edges and will help close the roof with almost no effort. We have a smoke alarm and carbon monoxide alarm here for extra safety. As well as down low here, we have a propane detector. So you can rest assured that you're not gonna have any accidents. But what this thing really excels at is packing up quick and hitting the road so you can get off to the next adventure.